news at 5:30 begins with this. Tributes continue to pour in tonight for former First Lady Barbara Bush. Aside from being the mother of one president, the wife to another, perhaps her strongest legacy will be her work to promote literacy. The Houston community is remembering Mrs. Bush with this plaza dedicated to the importance of reading. Experts with the foundation that bears her name say that if more people just knew how to read and write, then perhaps a lot of the world's problems could be solved. Mrs. Bush died on Tuesday. Her son, former President George W. Bush, said his mother was her feisty self up to the very end.
The day before she died, I said, "Mom, I just want you to know you've been a fabulous mother and I love you dearly." And she said, "I want you to know that you're my favorite son on the phone."
What a great story. There will be a public viewing on Friday for the community to say their goodbyes. The funeral for Barbara Bush is Saturday, and that's by invitation only. First Lady Melania Trump plans to be there, as well as the Obamas and the Clintons. Well, here at home, the former First Lady is being remembered at one of her favorite restaurants, the Palm Steakhouse. Of course you know it, a D.C. institution with its famed caricatures of stars and politicians lining the walls. Tonight, two servers recall the grace, humor, and kindness of one of their favorite guests.
How many times you get to sit next to an active president and the First Lady, and it was pretty cool.
It sure is cool, but Washingtonians, we don't get too starstruck, especially here at the Palm on 19th, where leaders of the free world from Carter to Trump have dined. But when the Bushes arrived, they made quite the entrance.
They would walk through the dining room. They would say hello to everybody. Everybody would clap.
John Stout and Chuck Koskinis served the Bush family, all dozen of them, on a round table, dining on a great steak dinner with old friends and owners of the Palm.
When Bush was head of the UN, that was on 42nd Street also, he used to come into the Palm in New York quite a bit, and became a good friend with some of the owners and Wally, and told them at one point that there were no great American steakhouses in the nation's capital.
That's why the restaurant opened its second location in 1972.
We always appreciated the Bush family.
The veteran servers remember Mrs. Bush as a friendly, engaging woman who loved a good joke.
Mrs. Bush, would you like me to wrap up some of these leftovers here so you can take home to Millie? And she looked up and smiled and says, "No, we've got Millie on a diet."
But most importantly, made others feel special around her.
She was just a very elegant lady who was interested in the staff. You know, she was curious about who we were and what we did.
And I was just happy to meet her, and it was a good feeling.
Some fond memories there. The first Palm restaurant opened in New York in 1926, and get this, legend has it that struggling newspaper cartoonists would draw caricatures in exchange for a meal.
Oh, wow.
And so the tradition stuck. Well, certainly, I guess
Yes.
they can pay for their own meals now,
Now.
but they keep the caricatures up on the wall.
Wow.
And speaking of cartoonists, there was a cartoonist who depicted a really emotional picture of Barbara Bush, who will be buried next to her daughter, Robin.
And her daughter, Robin, young girl, died of leukemia when she was only 3 years old. Cartoonist Marshall Ramsey drew this picture and sent it to Jenna Bush, Barbara's granddaughter. And you can see Barbara excited to see the daughter she knew for just 3 short years.